Notification.
Yeah, check for the
notification.
Check for the notification.
Okay. I'm going to do a very quick thing.
I got a notification for Elk Rack and Dancing Bear.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Late Night Craft Talk. It is July 23rd, the 23rd of July of 2021. In case you didn't know.
Yes. And I see my, there it is. Okay. I was like, I don't see it. Okay. So, hey, everyone.
Let me go check some pages.
Okay. I saw your thing was on there. So that's good. Okay. I'm going to mute for a second.
Okay. I'm checking my end and making sure we're all getting those technical details done, everybody. I see we got a few people watching. Hello, Maya.
Hey, there's Maya. She's one of our regulars. Yay.
Pure awesomeness.
We have 5 people on there. Hey, guys, tell us who's watching right now so we can actually communicate with you and say hey and shout out.
Hey, I'm kind of celebrating. We get to see Vivian on.
I know. We haven't seen Vivian in forever.
Vivian, say hello.
She's like,
okay, we are live in Elk Rack. Let me go. Oh, we got a countdown to get going.
Oh, yeah, we do.
I'm just going to speed it up by about 1 minute.
What?
I'm going to speed it up to about right
now.
See, 9:52. We need to take it at 8 minutes. Let's just go there. Let's speed it up a little bit more here.
Super duper. I'm so excited to be doing our live broadcast on Friday. Friday, guys. Friday.
Yep, we have our members coming up, including our president here, Maya, being of the Friday Monster Squad Ninja Hunters.
It's so weird, right? That's such a funny name.
Not to our viewers. They come on looking for the secret Easter egg directions on where to go hunt monsters. After the show, they get dressed up as ninjas, go out in the night, and hunt monsters.
They do.
Much like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. I watched that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, we have such a dedicated crowd, guys. We love our fans.
Hugely. Oh, we got a message from Vivian. She's been camping on the weekends and no internet. Vivian, at least tell us you've been keeping up with the show.
Aww.
If I ask you, have you seen a guy wearing a hockey mask and a cowboy hat, dancing with cowboy boots? Did you see that on the show?
So she's on your feed? Oh, she's on our feed.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Well, last week, you guys, if you guys missed it, oh, James, shoot.
What? Bang.
Did you put those videos into the pre? I'm gonna message you really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my gosh, we have to show those.
No, I didn't.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes,
we have to. Oh my gosh. Last week, you guys. No, it can't be next week.
It's a little hard now. 20 minutes ago, maybe.
So, guys, like, seriously, last week, if you haven't watched the episode, you have to watch it because James put on a mask. We did face masks together. It was so much fun, and it is hilarious. I was crying. I was like coughing, and like I tried to drink water to calm myself down, and I inhaled the water, and so I started coughing even worse. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, whoopsie doodles. Well, like I said, we'll get it next week. You know, we're not in a hurry. Got a lot of Indian time going on.
Okay, guys.
Vivian says she saw the preview.
Yes.
We have previews?
Vivian's
a time traveler.
You know what? When you hover over the videos, it will show you the video going.
Got it.
And I don't know if Facebook kind of shows highlights because there probably were a lot of people reacting at that moment.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I went ahead and posted pictures of me wearing the mask.
Hey, you know what?
Mask on my own Facebook, and people are coming back with, yeah. Matter of fact,
James,
follow-up business about that. Yes.
Yeah, guess what? The video, the timer is not going. It's been on 8:02 for a while.
Yeah. Look what that. We're having a little bit of stuff. We're gonna have to play with that over the weekend. Okay, I'm going to do a quick little reset. Yeah, it's freezing again, just like last week.
Yay, not fun. So, guys, tell us what you have planned for this weekend. What do you have planned for this weekend? Tell us, everyone. Tell us what's your plans. So, let's see here. I'm planning on going to the Japanese market, and I'm going to buy some I got to buy some groceries because we're gonna have like a little party for Robin because it was her birthday at our store, so that's pretty cool. And Mochi actually finished all of his accelerated learning training with the new trainer, and he's doing really good. So I'm really excited about that. And for Mochi, we're going to do a contest in about a couple weeks because I did a DNA test on him and I wanted everyone to kind of guess what they think he is. And whoever's closest is going to win a prize from Dancing Bear. So I will put more information on that, but I'm really excited about that.
Yep. I'm going to do a little open heart surgery real fast.
Okay. Yes. Do some open heart surgery.
Just do a little because I've been refreshing the screen. Let me
okay.
Change real fast.
Doing some open heart surgery. Okay. So James is doing open heart surgery tonight.
I am.
Behind the scenes, Melissa is going to be going to a graduation party for her son, or doing a graduation party. Congratulations for your son. That's awesome. So for those of you who don't know, hey, share our show. A lot of people don't know about our show. And when you share it, it helps spreading the word about our awesome show. Tonight we have an awesome guest who is she is really great, great to sound ideas off of in regards to like networking, business development. It's really, really cool. Like she's a really good source of information. So towards the end of the show, if you guys want to get your questions ready, we're going to have a Q&A with her. So make sure to get some questions. You can message them we'll tell you guys when to put the questions in. But she's a really great person to ask questions on, like ideas on resumes, on interviewing, on all kinds of good stuff. So
absolutely, it's going to be a lot of fun for those of you that are looking for a different step up in your career, ways to maybe polish your resume. This is the show you want to watch. We have tonight with our guest.
Yes.
Matter of fact,
I was going to say Vivian's going to go pick up a vintage Magic Chef stove from the 50s that she's been wanting for years. Okay, go ahead, James.
Vintage stove. I'm going to have to show Vivian on the show some point. Matter of fact, I might grab it. A 1955 Optimus 99 backpacker stove, and it still works.
I thought you were going to say a 1959 Optimus Prime robot.
I wish. Because he was around, Bumblebee was a Jeep during World War II.
I know, right? And
or in the movies. In the movie, I saw it in a movie, not the internet.
Yeah.
Well, we are at 2 minutes and 9 seconds.
Okay. So my watch says it's 9:59. So do you want to just go with the screen?
Let's just go with the screen because it's working.
Okay.
I don't want to mess with it.
All right, that's no problem. We'll do that. But yeah,
we have to figure out what's going on. Okay, we got a couple more people watching. Hello, Michelle Caballero and Matthew Green.
Yay, welcome.
And David Cronin is also watching. Hello.
Yes, awesome.
And Melissa Gall. Shout out to Melissa.
Melissa, she was the one that's doing her graduation.
That's right. 11:59 here, where you're at. I believe you're in Oklahoma, wasn't it, Melissa?
Move this over here.
Matter of fact, we will have two special guests on tonight. The second one, we're going to be actually doing an interview, like a job interview.
What?
You didn't know about this?
I was muted for a second. I'm sorry. What did you say?
No, we're gonna actually kind of have a job interview. We're gonna take the lessons that we learned
Yes.
And we're gonna have an old favorite back on the show tonight.
Yeah. So Melissa says that
Wisconsin.
she's in Wisconsin. So like she's in, and Vivian and both Vivian and Wisconsin and Melissa are really watching this show, Late Night Craft Talk, as late night.
Oh, we miss Vivian. Vivian, quit camping on Friday nights. Go camping after the show's over, which for you would be
welcome to new
about
viewers.
2 in the morning.
If you haven't checked in before, we are really excited to have you here.
38 seconds left of the countdown, folks. Get ready to count down with us. 32 seconds. We're going to start counting down at 10. And Savea, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. You ready to count down, Savea? You learn your numbers?
I am. Yes. Oh my goodness.
We've only got seconds to go. Folks, count down with us. Here we go. And starting at 10. 10.
10.
9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3, 2, 1. 1.
Yay! Start the show!
Showtime. Well, apparently I have to hit it manually.
That wasn't eventful.
It's time for Late Night Craft Talk with hosts Savea Kamora Yang and James Hermings. On this week's show, Jasmine Robbie, career success coach. At a job interview, the interviewer asked, "How would you describe yourself?" The candidate being interviewed said, "Verbally, but I've also prepared a dance." It's time to start the show. And we're having, I know what I'm not going to do when we do the credits again.
Yeah.
So let me do a little fix here.
I know. So for those of you who haven't seen our show before, we are both small business owners, and we do this show literally out of our wherever we film at, where it's our business or it's our homes, and we are kind of like we doing this kind of like a Wayne's World style. You know, I don't know if you guys catch that from the music, because it kind of is a little bit Wayne's Worldy. That's why we liked it. But we do this show every week because we wanted to create. We started the show last year in the pandemic when it started, and we wanted to create a show where we could create an environment where people can learn about a whole bunch of different things. We can feature artists, we can feature businesses, and we could also, get a platform where we can do things that help benefit our viewers. And so something like our guest today, I think this is a really great way to help our viewers. So if you're looking for a job, if you're working on your resume, if you are trying to figure out how to build your brand, network, this is definitely the show for you to watch. And so I definitely want you guys to kind of listen to what our guest has to say, and maybe you can come up with some questions, and we'll get a chance to answer your question during our show.
Got it. We'll be covering that. Another reason we started up the show is just because Savea and I were like, what are you doing? I don't know. We'll go live on the internet. I went, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's gotta be fun.
And here we are.
Fun.
Later. Yes.
I know. It's really fun. We get to goof around, and we get to talk about important things. And we've actually talked about a lot of important things over this last year and a half. And so it's really great. Absolutely. Hey, James, what's been going on with Elk Rack Traders this week?
Okay. We are starting to open up. We had we were back for the 4th week for Palm Springs Village Fest, the weekly art market that happens in downtown Palm Springs in California. And I know that things are back in full swing because Palm Springs is a pretty lively town. Some would call it West Hollywood in the desert. You see a lot of interesting people from around the world. And are you frozen? Okay, there you go. You're moving. So last night, it was there. I'm still having people come up going, "Hey, you're still here? You're still in business?" I'm like, "Oh yeah," and because I've sold there for 20 years, a lot happens. But sometimes you see things that just confirm things are getting back to normal. Now in Palm Springs, one night there was on a Thursday, Halloween fell on a Thursday one time, and I've never seen so many men dressed as Wonder Woman for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And last night, I saw a guy who's 6'5", dressed as a medieval nun riding a Segway. Should I repeat that?
It's kind of like a crazy combination, isn't it?
I didn't get a picture. I didn't get a chance to get a picture, and I kind of like don't like putting pictures of people up like that.
Yeah.
It's just, it's kind of an ethic, ethic like that.
I know.
But I just had to go, it's one of those things going,
you're like,
double take, and I went, all right.
You're cool. Like that. Actually one time, okay, I saw something like that. Okay, when I was in college, I remember I was driving to go swing dancing, I think. No, it was to school. It was during the day. There was a guy, and he was in I don't know the name of the garment, but he was wearing a kind of like a bouffant or like a hat, right? Yep. And he had a beard, right? And he had a big white, and it was a white hat and like a white kind of long garment. And he was rollerblading.
One time I saw a lady that was, you see the weirdest things. One time I'm driving out to Quartzsite, Arizona. It is, from where I live, from Indio, it is 90 miles of desert till you reach Blythe, which is right next to Colorado River and then Arizona. We reach Desert Center, and after between Desert Center and Blythe, and Desert Center is basically a bump in the road. You've got 40 miles of flat open desert, nothing around. And we're at mile 20. So we're halfway between Blythe and Desert Center. And I'm driving along, and I had to slow down and go, because I saw an elderly lady pushing a baby stroller along the shoulder of the freeway. There were no broken down vehicles up ahead because I was getting ready to do a U if I had to, but I'm like,
yeah.
Was that even real?
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Just a little bit. All right. So what's going on with Dancing Bear?
Well, this week we have been doing our classes for Christmas in July. So we already are filming our 4 Directions one. So we're doing those ornament classes. The people are really liking those classes. They're very cool.
I've been hearing comments. That's cool.
Yeah. The ornaments are really cool. And the way that we're doing our classes going forward is we're just going to be recording digital classes, and we're going to be selling the instructions and kits that go along with the class. And then what happens is that whoever buys the class, they can watch that video as many times as they need to watch it.
Gotcha. Are the kits also emailed to the customers?
It would be a little hard to email the kit. So what we do is we mail the kit along with the physical instructions with the links to the digital class. So it's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, really?
What?
Really? Yeah, I know, right?
I didn't do it.
So it's been a really great week.
What's that?
Been a great week.
Been a great week.
Awesome. It's Friday because then we get to do our show. Yay!
We get to do the show and talk to our audience. Quick, a little thing we have. Melissa Gall says, my favorite place to beat is in my fifth wheel camper. Just did that last Saturday. Serenity. Awesome.
Yes.
Vivian says, just going to Walmart. Yep. Okay. We do have a little bit of unfinished business from last week. Now, those of you know that we did the self-care episode.
Yes.
And I got a message when I woke up. We're up pretty late. So I usually sleep in a little bit to 6:30, 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I get up and I check my messages. And I had to message Savea this, and she went, ha, ha, ha. I get a message from one of our viewers up in Calgary.
Okay.
And he said, nice mask last night. My wife watched the show. Now she wants to do his and her masks together. Thanks a bunch. Well, we've either helped or hindered a marriage on that one. So the show's influential.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And next week, we cannot forget, we're going to show you guys. We took video right after our masks, like after the show. We took video of how we looked after we had our masks, and you guys are going to be amazed at the transformations.
Yeah, it was quite the thing. It drew a lot of attention. And that's the morning when I had to go out to the local supermarket and get it. People are like, so smooth. Of course, I'm the old beer right now, so it's not that smooth. All right. A lot of fun. Okay, I want to do a little quick shout out right quick.
Wendy says y'all started something.
Yes, we did. Matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago on the show, we were talking about a fashion show we're going to have between Maya, remind us of your dog's name, and Wendy, who just got
Brody.
a dog.
I think your dog's name's Brody.
Brody, thank you. With Brody, and then Wendy got a new dog that's part pug, part Dobie, and named Colonel Mustard. I got to meet Colonel Mustard last Saturday. I got to go over and visit Wendy.
That name. I love that name.
Oh yeah, he's a cool dog. So Colonel Mustard's going to get fixed next week. So he's got a little time. He's got to do some heal. But folks, we will have that fashion show coming up in the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest fashion show ever.
Yes, we're going to get that together. So you guys get to look forward to that.
Yep. Okay. One more piece of business. I do want to do a shout out. We have my grandpa who lives in Aztec, New Mexico, is turning 95 years old this Monday.
Oh,
so I want to do a shout out to Bob Polly.
Happy birthday!
Oh, he's a War II veteran, and the thing is at 95 you think, wow, it's pretty good. Oh no, this guy's amazing. He's still taking classes on automotive repair, so you can learn some of the new stuff. And he's still restoring John Deere tractors. You look at him, you would think like, wow, you're pretty spry for a guy who's 70, 76, 75.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I just, heck of a time for somebody to message me, send me a text. Anyways, so, dude, really, not now.
Dude, mute your phone, man.
I thought I did, but they're sending us something on Facebook Messenger, which is designed because in case you message me, it makes me go look. So anyway, I'm going to message him back here when we get a little break going, not now. So anyway, this guy, you think he's pretty spry for somebody 78. No, 94 on Monday, 95. Matter of fact, he had a little adventure. He's kind of been around the house a lot because of COVID. There's a auto show he wanted to go to up in Idaho. Mind you, he lives in northwest New Mexico. So him and a friend of his who's 78 restored a 1950 school bus, and they decided to drive it up to Idaho.
Wow.
So they're driving up through the Rockies in Colorado. There's a fire. They're like, oh, we're not turning back. We're going to this show. And so they got these directions up this 25-mile dirt road full of potholes unmaintained. And they're driving this 1950s school bus they repaired up and around this fire, and they're bumping around. And I guess there's a few things that happened, but they got through, and he's just smiling going, I had another adventure. Oh, and this is the way he would describe it. When I'm talking to him, I went, hey, I heard you had an adventure. And he goes, this is the way it goes. Yep. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
That's a long conversation with him.
Okay, so Vivian said, is he single? My mom's 93 and single.
Actually his wife just passed away a few months ago. So yeah, kind of is right now, but let's not go touch that too much. Matter of fact, my mom just left this morning to go to his birthday party over in New Mexico.
Oh, that's really nice. I'm glad that she's going to see him for his birthday.
Oh yeah, she's been wanting to. All right, so I'm going to do that shout out. We also have another piece we want to bring up, folks. We're starting because events are opening up. We have an event calendar we want to post and share.
Yes.
Let's go and get that up right quick. So, folks, we have coming up for those of you who live in Southern California, and we also have a few in other states. We'll be showing these a little bit every week. We have Lakeside Rodeo coming up August 27th through the 29th in Lakeside, California. That is only about half an hour due east of San Diego. Tickets go on sale on August 1st at lakesiderodeo.com. We also have coming up Barona Powwow. You'll see Elk Rack Traders and Dancing Bear Indian Trader there. That's coming up Saturday and Sunday of Labor Day weekend, September 4th and 5th.
That's the first powwow we're going to. Yay.
Oh, yeah. First powwow in Southern California since the start of the pandemic. This is awesome. Mm-hmm. Also coming up out of state is Red Sand Powwow, September 11th and 12th in Moab, Utah. This is a first ever, the inaugural powwow. So we get a little information right there if you folks want to see it. All right, next one we have coming up is Saquon Powwow the same weekend, September 9th, 10th, and 9th, 10th through the 12th. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Coming up, that is in San Diego County. And I think we have one more. Nope, that's it we're going to share right now. But that's what we have coming up.
Yay.
Hopefully, we're going to be having the head of the powwow for Red Sands on the show in a couple of weeks.
Cool.
So we want to start interviewing folks. And if there's any other shows you want to see or you want to add, you want us to do a shout out for, let us know.
Yes.
Message us. Let us know on that one. All right.
All right. So do we want to invite our guest on?
She when we had her on earlier, she's like, James. And I got intimidated and I'm scared now. All right, let's do it, folks. We want to show you. Let's go ahead and introduce you. For this week's guest, we are bringing on Jasmine Robbie, career success coach.
Yay!
Hoorah.
Jazz.
Hello, Jasmine. Jasmine.
Hello.
Hello. Let's see your camera. Jasmine, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hey. So we're so excited for you to come on because we just think that you have a lot of really awesome knowledge to share with our viewers.
I'm hoping.
You're hoping. What do you mean? You're awesome.
No, you folks, we're in for a lot of good information. We've met with Jasmine a couple times this week getting ready for the Tonight Show, and she's offered a lot of good advice because I asked about a few things about advancing in my own company. Never mind, I've gotten Employee of the Month for over 315 months in a row.
Yes.
I said, what are the chances for this? And she goes, I went, what? She goes, I wouldn't hire you. No, I'm kidding. I'm putting words in her mouth, folks. It was awesome.
Such a liar.
Yes. Makes you good for politics, but maybe not for a talk show. Okay.
So, Jazz, do you have some tips to share with our viewers so they can expand their minds?
Okay, so like so many tips, and it kind of depends on, what kind of viewers do we have here. So I'm gonna just take a wild guess and assume we have a couple of people here who are not really good at public speaking. And I know this doesn't really seem like maybe a career thing that everyone needs to have, because like if you're in accounting or if you're a doctor, who cares about public speaking? But honestly, quite frankly, you need to have some public speaking skills these days, even if it isn't just like, out loud verbal public speaking, even if it's just simply typing online, introducing yourself at conferences, doing a tiny little pitch, because you never know when you're going to be in the elevator with somebody who can change your life, change your career, or who needs to hear your information. Like, what if you are that weird, not weird, but that, that small time accountant or environmentalist, and you're in the plot of 2012 or the day after tomorrow, and you're the guy who knows the information to tell that one person up north, at the very top of the food chain, what he needs to know to save the world. And you just simply can't, because you can't be concise and all that kind of stuff. So I want to give you a really quick little tip, and I call it TOPS. And I actually just did a whole speech on this today and last night, actually. But I'm going to slim it down for you guys right now. Basically, my top strategy is this. It's a little strategy that's going to give you a really awesome one-liner that you can open with every single time. When you're doing TOPS, the T stands for target. So first thing you got to think of is, who am I actually talking to? Which is like in my case right now, right here, it's a little bit hard because I can't really see who I'm talking to, but I'm making some broad stroke assumptions. So think about who you're talking to. And then think about what their obstacle is. So you saw in the very beginning of my speech, I just, already kind of assessed the obstacle that probably a lot of you guys are going through. Not everyone is a good public speaker. That's an easy thing to assume. So obstacle. Then plan is P. So you want to prescribe some kind of plan that's going to help somebody get over their obstacle. And then S is you want to paint the kind of success that they're going to experience if they actually do these things. If they put your plan in motion to attack their obstacle, your target is going to experience this kind of success. So TOPS.
That's very cool.
That's really good. I especially like you're knocking it out of the park right off. The public speaking is so important right there. I mean, if
It seriously
somebody's,
is.
I can imagine somebody's like in an interview situation, if they're very shy and they're kind of like, they spend a lot of time on the resume. It looks good. You can tell, maybe that's a little rusty. You can tell that somebody, they probably have the talent, but if they're sitting there going, ask them, you say, hey, can you tell me about yourself? And they'll go, I guess. And, you're kind of like, oh, this dude's a wallflower. It's hard to read them, but, there's kids I work with that I try to put them in a situation that's not compromising, but, learn to speak in front of a group. And to them, like 2 people's a group.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Yeah.
translates so much over there to the interview situation too. I mean, what are some specifics, just to start off on this, what are some specifics you think could do just to practice, maybe even by themselves, or way to do a public speaking?
I would say definitely open Zoom, turn on the recorder, and say record to the cloud, and then just start talking. And if you don't have anything to talk about, off the cuff, go ahead and pull up on Google the top 10 most commonly asked interview questions, and then just start responding. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it shouldn't be. It won't be. So don't worry about that. Just start talking and see how you actually respond. I actually give interview prep. I do 30 minutes for about $55 an hour, and we just go through the top 10 questions. And then after I hear how they respond to about 3 questions, I pause and I give them feedback. And then we try to incorporate the feedback into the next ones. That's what you guys should be doing. Like anyone who wants to practice their skills, go do a recording and then look at your recording and try to see, okay, am I saying too much? Am I pausing too much? Am I, stopping, rethinking? Am I concise? And then whatever your feedback is to yourself, incorporate into the next ones and just keep on going and going. This is a strategy that I used back in high school before Zoom was around. When I was doing speech and debate, I had a friend test me and I had their feedback and stuff where I would use a recorder and then I would go over it at night, like ad nauseum. And it really works. It really, really works.
Mhm.
The other little trick I will say, if you're nervous about interviews and stuff and you just simply cannot get into the groove, listen to rap music. Yeah.
Seriously? Wow.
Yes.
A lot of people are afraid to go on Zoom. Like a
That's
lot of
true.
people
They
are
are.
afraid. And I never realized, like, I didn't think, I mean, actually, I don't feel really conscious myself. I mean, we've been doing this for a year and a half. But I think in the beginning, maybe I was a little concerned about, oh, wow, I'm talking in front of all these people and these people are watching me and whatnot. And I would get worried a little bit. And I think it just, practicing it and, it becomes easier. I'm like, I feel just like myself talking to
Yeah.
a computer. I'm just like in front of a computer by myself in this room,
Yeah.
and I'm just talking to a computer.
Even that rolls off. I mean, we've had some guests, especially some of our earlier guests, before people started really getting used to Zoom and being on. But there were times where we'd have to spend a couple hours with the guest on Friday before the show, just getting them warmed up and talking them how to talk in front of the camera and just get them loosened up and going toward the point where we're in a conversation, but they get so nervous on that one. I think people are so used to being on Zoom now that's definitely past that, but they get real self-conscious, and that's a big thing Savea brings up.
Yeah.
It
And
does
then
happen a lot.
before we get too far, Vivian is asking, how did you do today? Because I put a little blurb I shared on my Facebook about how my friend Jazz was competing in this speech. So tell us how you did. How do you feel? Like, how do you feel after you
Please,
did
yes.
that?
Honestly, I I don't want to brag or anything, but I feel so good. Like I think I did really, really well today. It was about like 7 judges in the room, and the way it worked was that uh I was literally on that speech like lineup on standby for about 9 hours today. They told me my time slot was X and my time slot was actually X plus 7. And so of
Oh my
course I arrived 2 hours early because like that's what a good person does. I wanted to vote on other speakers and stuff to like kind of help out and support them. And I ended up being in the room for like 9 hours. But it was really cool and stuff. And I was just like, by the time I went on, I was like super, super hungry, but I powered through. I stuck to my aces and I just gave my speech eloquently, slowly, with precision, concision, making sure articulation was in cue, all that kind of stuff. And at the end of it, everyone, like, votes. All the audience raises their hands to vote, and the judges don't say anything. They want to make sure the audience has a clear, just their own decision. No one else making them biased. And then after the votes are counted from the audience, then the judges unmic themselves if they want to say anything. And like sometimes, it's like one or two judges like saying something that's really cool, like, oh, hey, I loved how you did this. For me, like it was just really crazy. Like maybe it's because they remember me from like last night, because like I was like the dead last prisoner last night. So maybe they just like remembered me. But yeah, all of them on mic, they're like, wow, that was like really good. And there's one guy, his name was Robert. He's basically the Simon Cowell of the entire group. He can go harsh on some people. He said it was perfect. He actually opened with like, yeah, this girl's like the prime example of always be selling. I'm like, yeah, my
yeah.
basically
So you didn't have the
self.
Simon Cowell going. You mean audience going crazy, judges going crazy, except for Simon Cowell going.
Excellent.
Didn't have.
I was just blown away. Like I'm only saying this honestly because I don't think I'm going to win the competition. So this is like probably the highlight that I'm gonna have in this competition. So I'm like, yeah, let me just like soak it in a little bit. But there were amazing speakers. Like, I mean, I can't even, during the preliminaries, but there was like 4 days, so it was like 14 hours every single day of preliminary speakers. Yeah, for the entire week, they've been doing this competition. And then before that, for like 2 weeks, every single night for like 4 hours, they were going on here and like just hyping it up. Anyways, some of the speakers were literally talking about how their mothers passed away and they were inside the grave as 12-year-old children banging on the coffin lid, because they were so distraught. And then other ones were talking about how they were teenage moms and how they had no support. And other people were talking about how their siblings committed suicide. I mean, a lot of heavy stuff. And then here I come in, tops. Like completely, I can't, I'm not ready yet. I'm not in a place yet in my life to talk about the hard stories that have shaped me. But I can talk about the things that I think people are going to benefit from.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to say really quick, as Carolyn says, your voice is so soothing and calming. So she likes hearing your voice. And that Wendy Hodge and Wendy says, congratulations. And Vivian says, super. So everyone's really excited for you. And, we're excited. Okay. So.
Oh, absolutely. When you finished, did you basically go like this? You get done with your speech and you go, drop the mic.
Immediately took off my headphones, ran to the kitchen, and got so much food. Like,
I was wondering when you talk about the speech subject everybody had, and then when you came out, I was thinking that's kind of off topic and heavy stuff for a speech is supposed to be made about ballpoint pens,
right?
I guess anything goes.
It was a power talk, and like the rules was just that power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's really interesting. So Jazz, do you want to tell us some ideas about, let's see, networking?
Sure. Yes. Okay. So networking is really big these days, and you have to find the right places to network. So like right now, we're on a networking opportunity right here. I'm online with some people I totally love. I respect you guys so much as business leaders. You guys are awesome. And then I'm apparently being shown to some cool audience out there, and I don't even know you guys yet, but I want to meet you. So find me on LinkedIn. And my name is just spelled the same way you saw on the slide, Jasmine Robbie on LinkedIn. But the other thing is, like, if you want to network, you want to get into spaces, you got to find out where the people are who you want to talk to, where they actually exist. Some of them are really big on TikTok. Some of them are on Twitch. Some of them are on LinkedIn. Some of them are just on Facebook. It really all depends. And then every single platform that you approach them on, oh my gosh, that itself is going to dictate how you approach them. If you're approaching somebody on TikTok, you have to be concise in your language because all you get is these tiny little messages unless you want to do a full-on duet with them. If you want to approach them on Zoom, then that's awesome. You get even more, a screen time with them, I could do hand motions, all my communication can be seen, all this kind of stuff is like there's a lot more bandwidth. So it depends on where are your people, what is your communication style, and find the Venn diagram where all these things intersect. Now, for me, I think one of the easiest platforms to communicate on, hands down, is LinkedIn, because it's one of the only platforms, like in addition to Facebook, that gives you a plethora of ways to communicate with somebody. If I go on LinkedIn, I can find their LinkedIn, I can follow them. I just want to be a quiet, passive taker of their information so I can kind of get a feel for them without them really knowing that I'm trying to get a feel from them, about them, knowing how to learn about them. So that's a really cool thing. And then when I do want to contact them, I can either comment on one of their posts that I find really engaging and make some smart, awesome, thoughtful comments. And then they'll find me engaging in return, and then we can have a conversation. And then when we actually do have a conversation, I can actually private message them and say, hey, we've been talking a little bit about this, this, this. I want to connect with you, make it more authentic, genuine connection with you. And then even in that message, LinkedIn gives the option of doing an audio message or nowadays doing a video message.
Wow.
Yeah, so like LinkedIn's this really robust platform where you can do a lot of cool stuff, and also because it is strictly a professional platform, like that's what it's built for. When people interact on LinkedIn, they're they're there with a mindset to interact professionally with you. Whereas if they're on Facebook, they could be there as professionals or as people, or
Yeah.
human.
There's
So
lots of things people are on Facebook for.
Yes.
you're definitely not going to find the more polarizing posts that one might find stereotypically on Facebook.
Yeah,
Or
not
even
as many
TikTok,
at least.
you won't find on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
because there's still a fair amount of people I know that are in the professional world that don't have a LinkedIn. They're
It's
still
so
relatively
true.
young, millennials, whatnot, that haven't done it, surprisingly.
Actually, even for me, what I'm seeing mostly is the boomers don't have LinkedIn's. Like I help moderate a group of 57,000 career-seeking people on Facebook. And we have tried to get them over to LinkedIn. We have had LinkedIn days where we, help them. We actually have like coaches work with them to set up their entire profiles and write their about sections, like just really hold their hands through the whole process. And only about 300 of them have actually participated and come over to LinkedIn.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very underutilized platform. And like honestly, with what's looming in the future, the Great Resignation, a lot of shakeups going to happen in the industries, all industries, and with a lot of people retiring from the Boomer generation, or those who
Yeah.
are close to retiring, maybe being let go, and then having a very hard time because of ageism, trying to find a new career that's going to give them retirement benefits and help them just slide to the end of their career while still doing meaningful work that they feel like they're connected to. It's very important to have a station, to have a foundation on LinkedIn or some kind of platform where people know you as a professional.
How
Yeah.
common is it? I mean, how this is probably a dumb question. I'm going to ask it just for our audience sake, in case any of them have this question. But an employer is more likely to look at LinkedIn, obviously for professional, but are they going to definitely check a person's Facebook, their Instagram?
Oh yeah.
How much does an employer actually look for consistency in a person's behavior, assuming that they're looking at a professional side on LinkedIn as compared to somebody's personal on their Facebook? How much are they going to like a consistency on that if somebody's showing very professional but conservative, not so much in their views but in their manners, their mannerisms on LinkedIn, and find out that there's a wow dude on Facebook? How much disparity is there? I mean, are they really is their Facebook gonna really affect an employer's decision?
It definitely can, and it definitely has. I've heard a lot of stories where someone's social media, whether it's Facebook or Twitch or TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
has affected an employer's assessment of that candidate. And here's the thing about it, controversy appeals to everybody, right? So if they see a disparity, they're going to dig into a disparity. So what you need to do is finesse your profile, finesse your experience, your presence online, so that when
Mm-hmm.
somebody Googles your name, what they're seeing is your LinkedIn page And then if you have like immediately under your LinkedIn page, your Facebook page, that's probably a problem for you. If you don't have like the cleanest Facebook profile, then what you should do instead is go out and create some Medium articles, go out and shoot some YouTube videos, and then build the hype of those, get the SEO concentration on those, use Pinterest to hype up the SEO on those, make sure that those are the top results under your name so that you cleanse your perception online. And yeah, like maybe this is going to push your Facebook profile down 4 slots or to the next page. And after a while, maybe they will find you on Facebook anyways, but they're going to have to see a bunch of other great qualifying content that's going to have to paint the perspective in addition to whatever, not so great content you might have in other platforms, but just give them more information. Help them see that you are, yeah, sorry, Svea.
I was going to say, the one thing you may want to do is if your Facebook is really private, I do suggest addressing your privacy settings on your Facebook page. So, for example, for me, I have my Facebook not searchable by the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's different things that you can do on your Facebook. I keep my Facebook personal. So like my personal profile on Facebook is, I tend to be very selective on who I allow on my Facebook to see my Facebook page, my personal one. So everyone should take that into consideration when you just add random people that you don't really know. So anyway,
compared to my approach where it's there's somebody I may have met, or I'll double check who's sending me a friend request to make sure it's not like somebody looking for marriage from Eastern Europe or something. It happens. I probably get five friend requests a month or so with somebody from doing that. But anyway, I am a lot more indiscriminate than Svea. I just like, if they're on there, it's like, here you go, and I'll post things. I'll post some funny stuff from the show, clip here, a weird, funny video I might put out that that some people are going to go, is he stoned? No, but they'll do that. But like I said, I put it open there. But being the only employer, some people don't get it. But like I said, I'm a lot more open to who looks at my Facebook and not caring than Svea's. And Svea's definitely got the action there. But if occasionally I do have customers that look at my Facebook page, so occasionally, in my more realistic moments, I will do some spring cleaning, which is probably pretty important for a lot of people.
Yeah. And like as far as spring cleaning goes, start from the very bottom. Because like that's the stuff that you weren't concerned about before. So start from the very beginning and then just work your way upwards. And then leave the kind of content that you're okay with someone else seeing, leave it out there. That way you have enough, someone who doesn't friend with you, they have enough to kind of like feast upon and like feel like they understand your personality. And then the rest of it's all private.
Absolutely. We definitely have different, our approaches are definitely more professional on our Facebook business pages.
And speaking of that, shouldn't we I think that we had an interview that we had to do today. So Jasmine, okay, so everyone, if you guys have any questions for Jazz, I want you guys to start putting together your questions and thinking about what you want to ask her, because we're going to have about 10 minutes of asking Jazz questions. And what we'll do is we'll pick the questions from the feed here. So if you have any questions you'd like to ask, we'll try to help everyone that we can, but we'll make sure to, we'll try to get to everyone, but start putting in questions of things that you want to ask Jazz, because she's an awesome wealth of information while we do this interview. Good idea?
Yes, folks. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go get I'm going to have to mute my camera out. So you might want to talk to us just a little bit more, so I can go get our guests in the other room.
Yeah, James has a special guest in the green room, so we're gonna bring that person in just a second. Jazz, if you'd like to mute your camera.
I'll see you guys later.
See you in a few. Okay, guys. So I'm sure you guys are so excited because we have a really great interviewee. We were considering interviewing him for a position here at Late Night Craft Talk, but we want to make sure that we see what how he interviews, and we did check his LinkedIn page, and he does have a Facebook profile, like a Facebook page, like a celebrity page. So we were like, wow, this is pretty impressive. He has a celebrity Facebook page.
Which button do I
does-
push?
He does have it. He does have a LinkedIn.
So how do I turn this on? Is the microphone
on? Do you know how to turn your computer on?
I think so.
Have James help you.
Okay. How do I do that? All right.
Okay, so
where? Oh, there I am.
Okay.
Hi there.
Hi,
everybody. So I'm Earl.
You're
from
Earl.
Quarantinos, selling these fine sunglasses that you can have for.
Okay, so
boy, I'm a guest.
We're interviewing you for
just to have it whenever I come on your show to push the fine products at Quarantinos.
Yes. Okay, so can you tell me, so what do you see yourself, how do you see yourself working for a late night craft talk?
Well, seeing as I would become an employee instead of a spokesperson for the fine products at Quarantinos as their spokesperson that sponsors the show many a time, I see myself in 10 years hosting the show and talking a lot about growing vegetables on a farm and picking the teeth on a hog.
Okay, so those are your expertise.
We talk about agriculture, and my co-host, when you and James eventually retire and you bring me on as the funny man, and then I come back, I see myself as a co-host with Margot Robbie.
Okay, all right. So what do you think you bring? What skills do you bring to late night craft talk?
I can bale hay and throw them 4 high. I can grow a squash between 2 picks on an open field, and I can use a wrist rocket and knock out the flea off a tick off a dog's back from 60 yards.
Wow.
That is a real life skill that comes out here in Now Here, Oklahoma. Okay,
so have you had any management experience? Because we actually need to have someone manage James.
Well, that's the bull I'm not going to ride there. But as far as managerial experience on the farm, I am the foreman, the event planner, and apparently there's a sunset back here, and change the background with the Colorado River right there. But anyways, I manage all the work crews, the combine driver, the dogs, and moving the cattle. We have a big crew on my farm out there in Now Here, Oklahoma. It's a big crew, so I'm good with managing people and doing all those tasks and doling them out. It's a lot of what you call human resources or ramrodding.
Okay, all right.
Big crews.
So can you give me three skills
on farm?
Can you give me 3 skills that you feel that you excel at?
Butchering a deer in under 15 minutes, fixing the clutch on an old tractor, and as public spokesperson on a popular TV show, pushing the fine products at Quarantinos.
Okay.
I was hoping you'd ask how many people work on the farm.
Okay, so how many people do you manage on your farm?
Just me right there.
Okay, all right. So
I'm a jack of all trades.
Okay, all right.
But my name's Earl.
So how do you feel about relocation to California?
You mean leave Now Here, Oklahoma?
Yes.
Is there a beach in California?
Well, yes, there is.
Hollywood movie stars?
If you go up to Los Angeles, possibly.
I throw away the gig at Quarantinos and go right out there, be a big old movie star. I move right out there. I heard you got farms.
Yeah, there are farms.
I'll do it. I'll become Mr. Hollywood. I'm game. I'll come out there because you and James are out there in Hollywood.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, how do you feel about being the underling at such an important show like Late Night Craft Talk? Because honestly, like James and I are like, we're the really important ones. And, how would you feel about working below both of us? Because I mean, you seem to be like a manager kind of guy.
Are you both on like? Do you both do the show on a set atop of the top of a ladder?
No.
So you're talking like position wise?
No,
I'm really good at sweeping up, and I would be the plucky side entertainment.
Okay, you'd be the plucky entertainment. Okay.
The plucky funny guy off to the side.
Okay. Do you
For
have
those times that people get tired of James, I'll come in and rescue the show.
Okay. Do you have any experience working with cameras?
Beyond a tintype?
Like a web camera?
Yeah. Let me show you. I would use my phone, and I got the camera right here, and I point it right at myself like this. Here we go. You mind a finger or a finger or a thumb in a lot most of the time?
Okay.
And I would go like this, like it's the Blair Witch Project, going, "Hi, everybody."
Okay.
Let's just get over because we're bombing.
Yeah. Okay.
Bad.
So I have a feeling that we're gonna have to maybe think about it. So, bye, Earl.
We should have done something involved with the Piggly Wiggly.
I'm sorry.
All right, let me just say, bring James back right quick.
Yeah, bring James back.
We're going to script those next time instead of ad-libbing it. Folks, we apologize. That was supposed to go a lot different. We had a general idea we're going to take. We're like, it'll be fun to play with Earl and do that. You know what? We're just going to stick with Earl on the commercials. Earl live does not work for us. That was bad. I mean, Jazz, would you hire him?
You know, he has potential.
Oh.
You have got to teach so many cool lessons on diplomacy.
Yes. I think that there's some, maybe some things we're gonna have to work on with Earl, but maybe we should hire him. I don't know. Maybe we give him a trial period. What do you think, James?
I think he's going to stick with cold opens from Quarantinos is what I think.
Oh, okay.
These live things don't. Earl, this is one of those things where it goes back to what we were talking about earlier about, internet and look at somebody's LinkedIn. Folks, we do have an actual LinkedIn page for Earl. You should look at it. It might save some space for us with Earl tonight. But he
has a Facebook page if you guys wanna like his page.
Just look up Quarantinos on LinkedIn. Okay. He's one of those examples where if you watch him on the show, where he's doing the spokesman for Quarantinos, a lot of our longtime viewers will remember that and go, this guy's pretty good. But when you actually talk to him in person or, an actual interview, you're like, well, we know that somebody does the editing on those videos are really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like meeting your favorite, it's like wanting to meet your favorite movie star and then discovering Tom Cruise's 5'4".
Okay.
Disappointment.
Yeah. Okay. So
a little different in person.
We have some questions.
Awesome.
Okay. So Vivian, so after watching Earl's interview, what tips do you think you could give him to improve on his interview? Like, what things you think that Earl could have done to improve his interview?
Honestly, all the pre-interview work. You gotta research who you're talking to. You have to. You have to know the company. You gotta know the position, know what it needs, and then finesse your answers to already be amazingly applicable to what they're probably going to ask. You can find out a lot of things they're probably going to ask just by,
You could have asked, you could have looked up Dancing Bear Indian Trader and you said, okay, it's Chris and Sabea, it's their company. Okay, they're in Escondido, California. They're not in Los Angeles and Hollywood, right? And then, James, he knows that he's not in Hollywood either, right? I mean,
has nothing to do with combines, no livestock.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Okay, so Carol Ann is asking, do you ever get nervous speaking before a crowd? And if so, what do you do to overcome that?
I actually don't get nervous speaking in front of a crowd. I love public speaking. I it gives me so much energy and life. Like honestly, I wish I could do it all the time. And that's the funny thing. I honestly consider myself an introvert, but I don't know. I just kind of flip the tables when I do public speaking. I feel like I'm speaking values. I'm speaking something that has purpose and use. So I think if there's any trick to what I do when I go for public speaking, it's knowing that you're worth it. Just having that confidence and being like, yeah, I've got something to say in a way that no one else typically says it. And it's very likely that everyone in this room has not heard it this way. And if they have, hey, that's okay. Awesome. It's going to be one of you who have probably heard it this way or probably heard it better. That's all right. I can live with that.
Where's
Mhm.
the
You know?
fine line with that attitude, which is a great attitude? Where's the fine line between that being healthy and that being a conceit?
Don't worry about that. No,
Okay,
no. That's
just
totally a
something to
valid
build
question.
up one's confidence or steam right there, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
Like, um, being a conceit, like if you find yourself walking into every single room and thinking that you are the best person there, that's probably where you know it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I never walk into any room thinking that I'm the smartest person. I know I'm not the smartest person at all. I just know that every single person has something valuable to say, no matter where you are, no matter
Mhm.
how high you are in a company, how much money you make, or whatever you do. You can always learn something new from anybody.
Mhm.
That's
So what kind of tips would you say to someone, like, so if they are nervous, like, how would you recommend, or what things would you say, or what kind of tools could you give someone to say, like, you walk up to someone, they're like, they're so nervous, and they're like gonna go on stage, and you're going after them, and you're like, hey, just let me tell you something. What would you say?
Okay, so to understand the situation here perfectly, this person has no time to prep, no time to change anything about their speech. They're going on stage, they are already super nervous, and we have like, let's say we have 100 people in the crowd or more. Okay, and
Yes.
what would I say to them?
Yes.
Hmm.
That's interesting, isn't it?
I would simply say, nail your intro and nail your conclusion. They are not going to remember anything in the middle at all.
Hmm.
Just
oh
open
yeah.
strong, end strong. That's it.
That's part of showmanship 101. Have a strong exit, have a strong entry,
Hmm.
and try to have something memorable as an exit because people are going to remember either your entry or the exit.
That's
Exactly.
And that's
that's
the
really
big thing right
true.
there to pop, make
Yeah.
it pop.
And of course, they're going to try to remember your stuff. So don't, but I think that it's definitely good. That's definitely good advice because, you want to try to just really just be good at the start and real the end. Yeah, that's really great information.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see here. Is there anywhere that you do any kind of talking that do you do any talking anywhere in like in a normal basis? Like I know that earlier you were on Clubhouse. Like, are you on something like that on a weekly basis, monthly basis? So what are
Yeah.
you on where someone could listen to you? Because there's some of our viewers said that they feel very inspired by you and that you're giving great advice and they would like
Oh
to
yeah.
hear you talk more and they like hearing your voice. You have a nice voice.
Well, I'm trying to get bigger on Clubhouse actually. So, I currently this month I'm doing every single Saturday a room at 5:30 p.m. PST called Writing on LinkedIn, where we just talk about different strategies to keep people writing on LinkedIn. And I give away tons of freebies. Like this month, I'm giving away a complete July LinkedIn content calendar. So every single day, if you look at the content calendar, you're going to have something to inspire you to write about. It could be a thought leadership piece, it could be a surprise piece, it could be a I'm going to celebrate something piece. Whatever it is, you don't have to think about it. It's going to take all that decision making process out of your hands and just tell you, here's what your topic is. So you could just go ahead and do that. So I'm really excited about that. We've had some amazing conversations. People come in who have like last week we had someone come in who has 27,000 followers, I think it was, or 33 or
Wow.
something crazy. And he's like, yeah, what I do is I repost content. And we're like, whoa, wait, that's like totally against what we thought you're supposed to do. So tell us how that works. And it's like what I was saying earlier, even though I have this room, I never think that I'm the smartest person. I have a room in order to have conversations with smart people.
Hmm.
So,
Can
yeah.
you tell people what Clubhouse is for those who don't know what Clubhouse is?
Okay, Clubhouse is amazing. Like you need to be on there. It is the best social media like platform we have going right now. It's just because it's so connective. Oh my gosh. Like if you want to network, there used to be Meetup where you can like, go somewhere, meet some people. Clubhouse is Meetup on steroids. Basically, it's an app that got really big during the quarantine because it's an audio only app. So you could open Clubhouse, no one cares how you look. It's audio only. You just open the audio on your phone and there's a huge room. So it's like imagine being at Comic-Con or like some really big conference, except it's a conference for everything, not just comics, not just IBM, whatever it is. There's a hallway where you have a bunch of rooms just being offered to you, and it could be a room about dating, a room about cybersecurity, a room about you just kind of walk through this hallway until you find a room that you like and then you enter it. Every single room is completely enterable. There's no passcodes, there's no things. The only thing that's sort of like gated is actually having a speaking presence inside the room. Everyone can be an audience member, but only those who are allowed to be on stage can actually speak. And so some of the rooms you have to know somebody who's on stage and they'll bring you up as a speaker, or you have to raise your hand and then they'll read what is called a profile, a bio that you have on your own under your picture. And they'll read about you and say, okay, yeah, she's probably going to contribute something really cool to us, or, maybe she's not. Yeah, but
that is a really good safeguard against trolling.
yes, yeah. And like there's a lot of like there's no hard and fast rules, but like some moderators like it a lot if you have a really long profile, that's very legit. Some of them just like only care if you have an Instagram account connected, so you're verified that way. They know you're not a robot, But it is one of the most democratizing places, aside from LinkedIn, that I've ever encountered. And I've met people who I would never believe on there and people who I didn't even know existed. Like, I mean, LinkedIn is a great place to meet anybody you want, but you kind of have to know who you're looking for. Whereas Clubhouse, you'll stumble into a room and you'll hear from somebody, you're like, wow, that person sounds amazing. And then you look at their profile and they seem okay, like, really approachable. Okay, they have like, 18,000 followers. That's not too much. I've seen more than that on Instagram. But you don't maybe really realize Clubhouse is so small that many followers is like huge. But anyways, what I'm saying here is that when you go to their LinkedIn finally, you get off Clubhouse and go to LinkedIn to figure out who they are out there, then you see, oh my gosh, this guy has this big cheese. And I just talked to him for an hour inside a room. Like, what?
Wow.
That's cool.
So, yeah, this place is amazing. And yeah.
So that is really cool. And I definitely think that people should check it out. I mean, there's lots of different types of social media out there. And I know that, yeah, my husband, he's been like listening to Clubhouse all the time. I'm like,
Dan and I are always on the same wavelength, I swear.
So
I'm just like, dude, really? You're listening to Clubhouse again? He's always listening to Clubhouse. I'm like,
that's where the speech competition was.
yeah.
Like, there's really so many opportunities here. Yeah.
There's a lot of different things to talk about on there, and it's kind of cool. Like, it just gives you, like what you said, it gives you an opportunity. And actually there's a lot of celebrities on there, so like you can actually hear like Dane Cook talking about how he got started in the business and how he's, and it's like all this really cool stuff. There is a lot of cool content on there. There's some kind of weird content in there. I would avoid that stuff if you
late night content.
Yeah,
there's late night content.
There's all kinds. I know we're late night. We're actually considered late night content.
Family friendly late night content.
I know.
It's a rarity.
So we're getting a little short on time. I'm definitely gonna be checking out Clubhouse. I've never looked at it before.
And I think that you can just listen in. It's like you can go into the different rooms and listen in, because Maya's asking if you can just listen in. Yes, for sure you can listen in. You don't have to participate in the meetings. It's kind of like going to Comic-Con, like a convention, like a Comic-Con, and you can go into any of the rooms. Sometimes some of the rooms are a little more full than others, and some people hang in certain rooms more often than others, like Hall H.
Yes.
Comic-Con is supposed to be happening right now, right?
Yeah. But we're getting close to the closing time of the show right now, but just do a quick recap. If you could do just a quick description. We're going to name a social media site which you feel is the better for networking. I'm granted you're going to say any site where you can contact people, but not all are created equal. But quick, what you like about it, why it's maybe not so great. But let's go and just go run down, like say Instagram.
No.
Nah.
No.
Facebook.
Yes. If you use the private groups.
TikTok.
Yeah, it's a little bit there. Like, if you're okay with videos, yeah.
I'll just say that there's been some employers. I know one guy that's fired 2 employees because they wouldn't stop making TikTok videos at work.
True.
He wasn't game
Seriously.
on that.
Bad.
There's
TikTok can
employees
be
are.
really addictive.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Once I fell asleep, I downloaded TikTok because my employees kept sending me videos after hours of like different videos to watch. And I somehow turned it on one night and I fell asleep and I didn't even know I was watching it, or I was looking at Facebook and then all of a sudden I somehow ended up on TikTok and I was like, what is this? Like, I was like, what is this? Like, I'm hearing people talking to me. I'm like, what is this? And it was like some random video because it changes. And I was like,
Oh, it's random. Okay. Any others? Any others I'm missing? You recommend?
LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and it's still Meetup, honestly. Yeah, I know Meetup is not considered a social platform, but ever since quarantine started, most meetups in the world have gone virtual. So, like since quarantine, I've been going to meetups in Austin, in Boston, in Alaska.
oh,
And the
wow.
cool thing about this is like if you're in a particular industry or like you want to be like if you're in a particular field where like maybe you're in some area where it's not so big, but you want to learn about it, then like for instance, you can learn about AI and machine learning from the hubs of AI and machine learning. You could be in the middle of Idaho and you can go to a meetup for AI machine learning in Silicon Valley because it's virtual.
Yeah.
So don't discount Meetup. It's a quiet, small platform. It still hasn't really found its legs compared to all the other platforms, compared to how many years it's been online and stuff, but definitely has some interesting offerings. And a
Yay.
lot of universities are putting their classes on Meetup for free nowadays.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Cool.
Okay. One more thing
right.
I'm going to ask, because you're looking at your headphone, and I had to Google this just to make sure. You know who Lily Tomlin is?
Sort of. I think so.
Part of the original Saturday Night Live cast.
I think so. I think she's like really funny. Yes.
Lily Tomlin. She does the thing with the telephone operator going, "Hello."
Oh, I don't know that one.
Okay, can you Google? Can you Google or YouTube it real fast?
Let me see. Let me see.
Yeah, you go ahead and look it up. Audience, look it up too.
So you guys,
Because you're wearing the headphones, I'm thinking. I keep on thinking Lily Tomlin.
Oh, Lily Tomlin.
so it's so funny when we do trivia nights with Jazz because she's like so smart. We would do like it's called Fact or Crap. It's a game. And so when it comes a fact or crap, Jazz is so awesome. She researches really quick on why it's true or why it's not true. And it's awesome. We've learned
After the
much.
question, I don't cheat. Like this is
No,
after the question.
Yeah, this is after it's answered. Yeah. So it's after it's answered, she'll find out about it. So like we'll be like, why? Why was it false? And she'd be like, because this is why. And she says, la, 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 la. And we're like, oh, that's so
I've been
cool.
using that time to look up Lily Tomlin right now.
Yes.
Okay, do you see it? You see her? Are you reminded about some of her comedy bits?
Yeah.
Could you do your best impression of Lily Tomlin as the telephone operator?
Oh no. No, I would not do that. Sorry.
All right. Should I pretend to be Jazz?
You should no. You should pretend to be Lily Tomlin.
Yes.
Okay. You're calling. I have to watch this because it's been so long, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm doing this cold because I haven't watched the sketch in a while. All right. Ring, ring, ring.
Oh, her name's Ernestine, my mom said.
Ernestine? Yep. Hello, Ernestine calling from Company Incorporated.
Her name's Ernestine, my mom said.
And I hear an echo. Somebody talk to Ernestine here.
Hi, Ernestine.
Hello. May help you make your call for one of our executives?
Yes, I'd like to talk to the big cheese.
The big cheese, really? Well, okay. Well, let me take you one. Let me take you our Limburger one, our Limburger CEO. Ring, ring. Hey, Jazz.
Hello.
We have a customer and he wants to talk to you about cheese. Granted, we have a company about AI, but you really want to talk about cheese?
Oh, that cheese. He knows about cheese?
I don't know what cheese you're talking about because this is getting cheesy, but I don't know.
Nice.
And Ernestine.
End scene.
And you know what?
The scary part,
when
honestly,
we get off, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch a clip on YouTube and see how much I just butchered that. And then find out I am not going to be hired, even though I just probably did an audition for a Lily Tomlin
lookalike.
Lily Tomlin lookalike cosplayer, whatever.
You can be whatever you
Tribute
set your heart
band.
on, James.
Huh?
You can be whatever you set your heart on, James.
Yes.
Do
Well, if
it.
that was the case, I'd take over the world.
You don't
And
want
not
that.
like Pinky in the Brain,
That-
like, you know,
It's
Dr.
not
Evil.
good. You do not want James to take over the world because it's not going to be good. Okay, it's going to be bad. It's going to be
Biz from that cinematic, that alternate universe. No, now we're
Darkest
talking.
sketch.
Now we're talking Loki.
Okay, all right. So, James, do we have a slide to show for next week?
We have a slide to show. I just have to get it queued up.
Q.
All right, folks. We're just going to go ahead and show what we're bringing on next week. We have coming on next week's show is heading off to college.
Oh, I remember.
We are
heading
actually
off to
getting to that
college.
time, and we've all probably got some friends who kids have just graduated college. Matter of fact, one of them we had on the show here just a few weeks ago talking about school during the pandemic. But we're going to be talking to a young man named Colton Charles, who's about to head off to college. He lives in 29 Palms, California. It is not on the edge of the earth; it's next to the edge of the earth, and he's going to college in Kansas. And we're going to talk to him about kind of what he's expecting, what he's going on, and we might have another few surprises about life in college and getting up to step off for that next part of life's journey.
Cool. I like that.
What happened?
There's loud noise in the background, so I kept trying like on and off muting.
Okay, because it sounds like scratchy sound.
Sounds like I'm like someone's digging for rocks in the back of my kitchen.
Would it be part of the peanut gallery being either a mochi or
It's not Mochi, it's the other one. He's kind of appearing on my green screen.
Dan?
Yes.
Hi, Dan.
He looked back and he's going back to take care of. He's being the dog whisperer right now to keep the dogs quiet so that they're not barking during the show like they do if he doesn't do it.
That's called a lot of doggy snacks.
Yes.
And then pumping the dog's stomach next morning. All right.
Yes.
Honestly, Jazz, I love the advice you've given. We could just do. We could have a very fascinating full hour just talking about ways to prep to do public speaking, which is, you know, I thought we all thought we'd be touching on more subjects, obviously, but just on that aspect, so important. Just to get the ball rolling, just to establish yourself. And you had some great advice on that one, and plus social media also.
Yes.
Part of that and the importance of LinkedIn in a professional world.
Thank you for having me on here. This is really fun.
Yay. So thank you so much, Jazz, for coming on. If you guys want to look for Jazz, do you mind sending me a link so that I could put it in the chat here so people can find your clubhouse room?
Okay, yeah. We actually don't have a link for it. It just pops up at 5:30 in Clubhouse. Just look for LinkedIn on Clubhouse.
LinkedIn on Clubhouse at 5:30 p.m. Pacific.
Each Saturday of this month. So just this Saturday, tomorrow, and next Saturday is going to be our last two.
All right. Okay. We have people saying thank you, Carolyn, saying thank you. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on our show. And would you want to dance? We're going to dance.
I'm okay. I'll see you guys later.
We dance on this show during the closing credits.
Okay.
Bye.
So start the credits, James, so you can see us dance.
I will start the closing credits now. Are you ready?
Start the closing credits so we can dance.
All right, folks. Been awesome. This has been another week of Late Night Craft Talk. We'll see y'all next week. Remember, off to college next week. Awesomeness and Governor of the Night show for that great advice from Jazz. See you next week.
Okay, guys, ready?
And now we dance.
Everyone dance with us.
Tap dance.
Dance with us. Dance with us.
Oh, ain't he cute?